Hi everybody, welcome back to the Our Smiling Faces podcast, and it's a full house today, all four were.
Bingo!
Hey, so we're here to talk about that game at the weekend.
What do you want to talk about that, man?
So I think this is going to be a very, very brief podcast.
Yeah.
There's only two of were there. I wasn't one of them. Bestie wasn't one of them. And it was used to. Decker was desperately trying to get a ticket for this one as well.
Yeah, I was one of gone. I've seen people that say they do want to go, and I'm like, well, why not? Like,
Are you glad you went?
no, I was at work, so it better be at work, right?
Yeah.
So I put on for a few hours and then came back to work. But thanks to that lad from Chesterfield who gave us a ticket, was good.
From Chesterfield?
He comes up for games from Chesterfield. Mark,
He's
I was going to say, we're getting there.
yeah, Mark put us in touch with the group and then tagged comment on the guy's status saying this guy's trying to sell a ticket. And he come up with his daughter from Chesterfield, but his dad landed on his dad's birthday, so his dad couldn't come, so he had one spare ticket. So hence then I went, sat next to him and his daughter. It was great.
So I think we're going to mainly leave this one up to you two.
We're about to argue, so here we go.
So, Bestie, you were having trouble with the stream, if I remember right.
That was just the standard of the game.
That was I couldn't tell. Everything was wrong. Everything was absolutely terrible. The stream was crap. The game was crap. I ran out of data at one point nearly. I got a text off 42 saying you've used 80%. I thought, is it worth it for this?
Yeah, what a waste of your data.
So I watched the Aaron Hernandez documentary. Instead.
Brilliant documentary.
Aye.
Andreas Anderson.
Andreas Anderson, aye.
Hernandez, man.
It's about how he murdered Newcastle's cup chances in '98.
I was going to say. I hate
So,
him.
who wants to talk with through the lineup?
Well, go on.
Caldolo in goal.
He thinks too long. No, sorry, go on.
So, Darlow in goal.
Darlow in goal.
What probably expecting that. Obviously, he played the Rochdale last game at St James's.
Yedlin came back in it right wing back. So back from his little time out with his injury.
Fabs was back at centre.
Fab was back with Lascelles and Kieran Clark back in as well. Richie maintained his position as the only fit left back at the club. And then we had Sean in the middle with our new sign-in on loan, Nabil Bentaleb. And then we had Almiron, St Maximum and Joe Linton.
So a pretty strong team, really.
That's
pretty much
by what we can put out.
Fucking tremendous team. Well, I mean,
on paper, kind of things looking at you might say you've got options in midfield and at the back. But other than that, yeah, pretty much bang on.
If you go back to the day before,
Boris than your keeper.
When Bruce had said, we're not going to win the Premier League, no, we're.
Not this season.
But yeah, it's true.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
We'll get on that later.
What can we win? And he said the FA Cup, so we'll give it all we've got. And that selection to me was
positive, wasn't it? Positive.
Definitely was promising, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
You see that and you think like, that you take it seriously. You see the teams that like Benitez put out at times, Pardew did, and you think like they don't want to be in this. Bruce put that team out and you think, oh well, that's a statement of intent, if you want to call it that.
In front of a sellout crowd as well.
Yeah.
Sold out. Giving tickets out for a quid at one point.
To be fair to Oxford as well, they brought a lot. They had the entire level 7 of the Leazes end right into the corner, which you don't see many teams.
That's got to be one of the highest attendance FA Cup games we've had
I think
in a long time.
It has to be the highest, surely.
Yeah, surely.
I heard a stat. Well, it was the highest for a long time. I can't remember exactly what they said. But
it's normally late 20s, early 30s, isn't it? For your
I cannot remember we're opening level 7 for like the home fans in a good while.
I think what I'm trying to mean here is actually I think it might be the highest at home.
Leeds, did we play Leeds in it?
That was a League Cup. That was League Cup.
Yeah, I remember they brought a lot.
Leeds do.
Considering when we extended the ground, now bear in mind my memory's not that great. When we extended the ground, so that was under the Robson year I remember it was getting built, if you like.
About 20 years ago.
So how far have we getting in that time? So I know
this is if we get through this round, it's the furthest we've been. Yeah.
Well, we've got the semis since
2004. Since 2000, and then obviously we've got the finals in the
90s. Yeah.
2 late 90s, didn't we? Arsenal and Man United.
Yeah. So anyway, it was a full house.
Yeah. Full house.
The team sheet was as strong as you could possibly hope to see, and I think I was personally thinking, we're going to turn up here and do these
So me and Bessie done the preview when we've done the big game changer podcast. We've done a little preview after that. And we're pretty confident, weren't we?
I think we said 3-0.
Yeah.
We
said something like the Rochdale game, didn't we? Where we'll dominate, and as soon as we get the first goal, we'll go on and
do you know the Oxford preview that
the away say,
yes. obviously I learned a lot more from Oxford in terms of what he was saying, that they weren't just a kick and lump team, they tried to play football. Hey, he was
They
bang
did,
on,
yeah, they did.
The lad was bang on, because I thought, personally, they were alright.
Yeah, to be fair,
you know.
that's something on the channel. Obviously, the videos that we put off, they get quite a few views on them. What I need is with away say, it's probably the lowest what you get in regards to views on it and lowest numbers. But the effort that goes into that,
great,
and some of the interviews that he churns out are great interviews.
Really good, yeah.
It's good insight into,
it is,
like, especially against a team that you don't know a lot about.
Absolutely.
You know, hearing their fans' opinions of how they're playing, how they'll set up, and also how they see us as a team
Let's
as
be
well.
honest, he's had some strange ones on there. He's had a couple of strange ones.
Brighton.
I thought that one was the best one I've heard.
It was really
He
good.
was excellent, lad from Oxford. He was absolutely brilliant.
I enjoyed it.
But anyway, sorry.
So you'll probably get him back on, I would imagine, for the
replay.
reverse leg of that one.
Yeah,
why not?
He's got a Norwich one coming up as well. Same people he used last year, and they were good lads as well. So watch out for that. Away see.
Well, they're related.
Right.
Sorry, yes.
Mark, man.
Aye, so the game started. And what was your thoughts? How about
That was a strange one, wasn't it? I think we started all right, and without really troubling them too much. I think they did sit back a bit at the start and kind of, you know, to get through and weather that storm, and the storm never really came, which I think then gave them a little bit of confidence to then start playing their game, and then they grew from there. But
we were sloppy in possession, weren't we?
yeah,
Sure.
I hate to go straight into it, but
I'm not.
he was
That's something,
shocking.
That's something Bruce has said last few games. Now, like,
He's right.
ball retention, something that we've really struggled with.
Yeah. He was really upset after the game. Bruce, like, he was furious.
Yeah.
He was like, "We're not keeping the ball well."
The
enough."
nice easy balls, like back to players, not even forward passing, like back to players, and they're still not going to them.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna just dive forward for 2 seconds and we'll come back. He put Shea, defensive midfield, and brung Hayden on.
Yeah, later
towards
on,
the end. Shea was miles better when he went there in
Yeah.
terms of carrying the ball, looking confident on the ball. Sean just kept giving it away. And the thing is if someone's under pressure, really getting pressure and they lose it, fair enough. There was no pressure sometimes, was there? He's literally trying to pass it 5 yards and couldn't do it.
And it was the thing with it was as well. Obviously Bentaleb was coming in and making his debut, and at the start of the game, I thought I was very impressed with him, the way he was kind of talking to the other players on the pitch, even before kickoff. He was like talking with the defence and with Sean, and like talking about how they're going to play and lining up and where people are going to be and that kind of thing, which I thought actually that shows like quite a bit of intelligence and this is somebody who just came into the club in the last couple of days.
His first game in weeks, apparently.
So
He's not been training with Shark as first team for about a year now.
A bit of April, since April, I think. March, I read.
So he looked to me. He straight away his attitude and his behaviour and persona to me looks good.
It does. To be honest, he reminds us of Marino a lot, hell of a lot in terms of the way he plays, which isn't a bad thing by any stretch.
Not like
me worry is, and this might come with game time, and I thought he looked very classy at times on the ball.
Comfortable on the ball as well.
He's another one though for me that from early doors, from the one game, it's a bit too sideways for me. Like it's just. I need more than that.
I do, but was there a lot for him to pass through?
No, what I'm saying is, come on, carry the ball for a bit.
Yeah.
It was all like very safe, and that's. I understand you've got to keep the ball, but I don't know.
He did look very comfortable on it, didn't he? And always want it.
Yet again, every time I see, no matter how much we have the ball, we'll pass it wrong for ages, and we'll basically try and give it to Saint Armor and go all the best.
Yeah.
And Saint has to beat 15 men, well 11, and Almiron has to do the same. Now Saint's been getting loads of heat. Now I know you weren't a fan because you said he was like Jacob Murphy. There was the only bits of that game that were any good.
Whoa.
That's what he said.
What?
That's what he said. What's up? He was like Jacob.
After I went, that
That's all
first
that
half
we
was the equivalent of Jacob Murphy.
Did you
Oh
not
my
see
God.
what he did
He
on the
was
far
shocking.
side? Did you not see what he did on the far side when he beat it with 5 players? It was unreal, man. He lost the ball.
Was that once?
No, but if you think of the first half in its entirety, I think anything that happened good was from him. Anything.
Once.
No, you're right.
Oh God, Mark's got his usual hero for a winger, hasn't he?
No, because like, as I've said,
Of course he did,
he had a poor game, but
If he held onto the ball any longer, he was taking it home at one point.
well that was the other thing that was
I agree with you.
frustrating is his use of the ball when he was in good positions was shocking. I mean, jumping ahead, there was in the second half, there was 2 separate occasions where Joe Linton was through clear on goal, nobody in front of him, and the ball didn't go to him.
Yeah, but I'll give you that. Like, I actually thought Joe played well.
Joe
And he's
was
been
excellent.
getting loads of heat, and I thought he was
So
great.
I was on this chat with
great.
one of the lads at work, and he was saying Joe Lennon had a shocking game, and I'm
Not
sat
at
there
all.
and I watched bits of the game as best as I could, and there's points in there where Joe Linton is making great runs and he's screaming at players for not giving the ball.
100%.
It was just giving us flashbacks of when CC used to make those runs, and like so Kabay used to hold on with, and so on and so on,
yeah.
and Sissoko, and he's making the runs. So the one where he puts it, I think might be in the second.
It's the
one.
second goal that got disallowed. That
So-
was the second time that he was clear through,
It's a
straight on goal,
great
and the ball
finish as
didn't
well.
go.
Absolutely fantastic finish. He puts it in the corner.
Are you on
And
about the same one? Because
the one we say just
that's
holds
the
on.
first that.
Yeah, is that
That's
the first
first
one?
That's the
Yeah.
second disallowed goal.
No, the second disallowed goal come from them kicking it away and it bounced off our player.
Oh yeah, that is. That is
Clear and closed down, kind of
closed
spun
down,
them.
that was the
15
second
yards
Oh,
out.
sorry, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
So
the
the
first one.
first
But
one.
you're right though. For me, Shane has to play that first time.
Oh,
Yeah.
Joe's screaming for it. He's running on the diagonal. He's past the defenders.
The ball's on as well. It's not a,
It
it's
is.
straight through.
And Saint, he just holds it and holds it.
Yeah.
Then he gives it, and Joe, as soon as he puts his foot on it, he knows he's offside.
Yeah.
Still an absolutely fantastic
Good
finish.
finish, yeah, it was.
And he turns round and he's screaming. at
And
Saint.
that's because
Screaming
by that point, the same thing had happened a good 3 or 4 times.
And he hadn't getting the ball
He
on
had-
them ones
yeah.
because I was watching going, he's made a mint run. Oh, he hasn't getting it. And it was, I also thought his hold-up play was good.
Yeah, yeah.
What I mean by hold-up play is, there's some people, I say behind us, I was against the wall, so there was no one. But I mean, people on the side of us were going, oh, no, some of the ones he had no chance on. Them had a big centre half and they were kicking it long and there was 2 of them. He couldn't win the header. All right, fair enough. But when we give him, an opportunity to get the ball, I thought he held it on really well. His link-up play was good. His movement was good. Ironically, he missed the easiest chance out of the 3 he had.
It was late on, wasn't it?
Yeah, and him and Almiron missed 2 real good chances, I thought, towards the end of that game. Almiron's was a sitter for me, like, but it is what it is. And to be really honest with you, we were hanging on towards the end. I'll be honest, we were hanging on.
They did. They got masses of confidence. They made some changes late on at the end, and they just started chucking everything at where
couldn't
and
get near some of them.
we had to make it. We'd made all of the substitutions by that point. As like I say, Sherrod went into midfield by that point. But I kind of understand how Longstaff lasted as long on the pitch as he did.
It's a shame.
Even St Maximum as well, because it wasn't his day.
I think, to be honest with you, I think we've got a couple of questions about Longstaff and the slope that he's been on since last season. Like, so we'll hold that chat up for a little bit.
I'm trying to just put it down to, it's one of them days at the office. It's just one of them. I'm trying to be. Can you say positive? in
You
that way? But
can
it was
say that
poor. It
for
was
you can
absolutely
certainly say that for St Maximum, because you know what he's capable of doing.
He actually came out on Twitter as well.
He did, yeah.
replied to someone.
And there was
wasn't
a
even tagged in it.
there was a fantastic piece on Match of the Day that they did in the analysis of the game, and they spent a good portion of time talking about St Maximum and picking up on the things that he'd done very well in the game, and then some of his poor decision making around where he was just dribbling into players. I mean, there was one point where he's literally standing unmarked second half against the east stand. Ball comes out to him. He controls it, hits it off one leg, hits it off the other, gets it then caught between his feet, and puts it out of play behind him. If that's not your day by looking at that, then you know what you're in for.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but again, when we started the second half, he finally would actually decide to play football at the first 5 minutes. That was all we did play. And we were working, it was clever because we were working the ball in a certain way to allow Saint to have the opportunity to be one-on-one with the fullback.
Yeah.
Because they were doubling and triple up with them at times. Then we started playing, and he was absolutely terrorising that fullback in the first 5-10 minutes. Because it was just one-on-one, and he couldn't live with him. The pace he runs with the ball is extraordinary to watch. I did think Almiron played really well, but I also think he was coming too deep for the ball, personally. He was picking it up in pockets that were just...
And I think that was
nothing doing for you.
I think that was because of the issues we were having in midfield with the game that Sean was having. As a result, Bentaleb was starting to then have to come in. He was starting to drop deeper and deeper and sitting and then get the ball, because essentially he was doing the job of 2 men in midfield.
I'm going to be really honest here, and I'm not trying to criticise Brucey for all the side and that, but for me, 5 at the back, or whatever you try to say it is, 3 and 2 wing backs, against them at home is not unlike. And I think that we should have sacrificed the formation to get someone extra in midfield. Because Clark even Shea, to be fair, and Lascelles. I thought Lascelles actually was good on the ball in terms of passing it, but none of them are willing to carry the ball. So all of a sudden you've got 3 centre halves, 3 players that are out of the game.
Shea tried a couple of times because he had a couple of long range shots, didn't he? But I think the problem is when you're asking Matt Ritchie to play left back by doing it that way. If
Not
you're
necessarily.
going for
Clark
at the
could play
back.
left back. He's played there before.
But you're playing Oxford. I'm not trying to be awful yet towards them. They were all right, but however, surely Clark can fill in a left back against them. But the thing is, you're at home. You know they're going to sit back. To play almost 5 at the back for me, it's just not attacking enough, aggressive enough.
Well, what
you could tell by now.
You're playing with 2 wing backs. I mean, Richie can cross the ball, but I've not header against Chelsea, maybe notwithstanding. I've not really seen Joe Linton kind of convince us that he's kind of bloke that's going to get a header on goal. Yeah, I agree. The most recent comparison I can think of is Rondon last season against. It was when Kennedy put the ball in. It was like pass.
It was like a
Ferdinand-esque guy. And I don't see this Newcastle team, and it might be a result of having 5 at the back. We're saying like Joe Linton played well, Almiron played well, St Maximin was a bit hot and cold, Bennett Leb played well. That's 4 front 5 players. If you want to call it front 5, except for Longstaff, who was obviously big shite. Like, if they're all playing quite well, then why is it not working?
Yeah.
Is it because we're needing our body further forward?
I think
it's 5 at the back too constrictive.
I think it is, but I think there's horses for courses. I mean, if you're playing Chelsea at home, 5 at the back's fine, and you'll have the opportunity to break, and your full backs will go up. I still don't think Richie has the legs to go up and down. Be it either just that's who he is or his injury. I just don't see he's got the legs. Yedlin definitely's got the legs, but there's no quality there.
To be fair to Richie, though, he was probably our most defensive player.
Do you think so? I don't think he played very well, to be honest.
Do you not think with Joe up top now, you're looking back at the days when we had Mitrovic there and we just weren't putting the balls in the boxes like what
To be fair
thrive on.
to Joe Linton, he'd got a head injury very early in the first half. So he was constantly having to go backwards and forwards, particularly in the second half, to getting it re-wrapped and changing his shirt. So it was obviously bleeding a lot.
That's what I like about Joe, because there's been a few times this season now where Bruce has came out and said he's played through an injury. He wants to be on the pitch, and that's great to see.
Right. I questioned it. I did. I sat here against Norwich and thought, I think he was happy to come off, and I'm not quite happy to eat my words because I think he's definitely, playing through injuries. That an injury got looked a serious one, but he was still on there trying his best.
I was down for a while with that.
Yeah.
That's one of the rare parts of the game I actually managed to see uninterrupted. He was down for ages, and it looked like a bit of a nasty one, but he's. I just don't think it's. I don't think it's working. It's hardly a fucking.
Yeah.
It's hardly what do you call it? Is it? I can't get. Oh, bastard's name just died. One eye.
What?
Columbo.
Oh,
just
bastard with one eye.
He's been dead for 20 years.
It's like, guess who, this isn't it?
We haven't got to be Kojak to think.
Is he wearing a camel Mac?
Is that laptop?
And another thing.
The thing is as well, though, because I think the reason why he won't change it, and I have to understand, is we got absolutely butchered. He changed it against Norwich, we got hammered, and we changed it against Leicester, and we got absolutely butchered. And he came
There's a
out
difference
after
to
that game.
than there is against Oxford, though, isn't it? Like you were saying.
But he played that formation against Rochdale and won 4-0. So that would probably be his argument to me, with what I played against Rochdale.
Do you feel as if a game where you have plenty of possession, we just don't know what to do with it?
We couldn't create any real chance. We had opportunities to create chances.
But we look like a much better team on the counter attack when it's backs against the wall. Then get on the pitch as fast as you can. When you've got the ball, we literally just don't know what to do with it.
But we've struggled with that for years, haven't we?
I think St Maximin, if there's a space behind a full-back, he can knock the puck. Sissoko's, I'm not saying the same kind of player, but could knock past him and run, and he's past him. And that's how St Maximin's been as effective in certain games, I think, because he's got that space. Oxford, if I'm going to sit back a bit more, he hasn't got that. He's going to struggle a bit more, and he's got to be a bit more inventive, maybe, or he's got to have more support.
Yeah.
Whereas, like Tekka says, there is an element of, same on both wings, give him the ball, Philip Woods.
See what
that's how I felt it was.
That's what I've seen as well.
Everyone criticises him for having a shit game, but I'm thinking, a lot of the times we're giving them the ball at halfway and going all the best here. So all right, just beat 7 players and score, mate. Like I don't know. I think it's a bit unrealistic at times. Yes, he did miss control and went out to play. That was laughable. Laughable for a professional footballer to do that.
But
it happens.
You know, it's not your day when something like that happens.
But Almiron, for all he was on the ball and looking busy, other than getting horse collared twice, disgraceful.
Shocking.
I wouldn't say clean through because there's one to beat. But that's
a great chance, though, isn't it?
I feel as if that should be more than a yellow card. And I kind of
it's a deliberate professional foul, isn't it?
The guy's away. He's off twice today. You know what I mean? But it was a bad day at the office. It really was, because considering it's the easiest chance we've had to get to the next round, It was shit. It was shit. It was annoying. It was frustrating.
It's another game we don't need. Another
Absolutely
replay,
right.
is it?
Yeah, we did.
Especially when you've got that winter break
That's the winter break where we're going to be playing that game.
in the spring
When's it going to be? Do you know?
next week.
Midweek, aye.
Yeah, so after it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday.
I might go if it's Wednesday, like, if I can get a ticket. But don't know why I fucking going there. But anyway,
Ooh, I think I'm off one day next week.
I'll go if it's Wednesday. I'll go. Like, well, see if the last.
All the way to Oxford for that.
Where is Oxford?
Just north of
I'll do
northeast
that game,
of
I'll try.
London.
Oh, I'm not going.
Is that not Watford? I know Watford.
It's like Oxford, Cambridge,
Okay,
isn't it?
They're both the same kind of colour, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm not going.
They're on the Thames.
I'll go.
Just have the boat race.
What was your
Oxford and
thoughts on
Cambridge.
Darlow just before we finish?
He had no idea, did he?
Well, actually, I disagree.
At the end.
I thought he did. He took a wonderful corner. There was a corner. A cross came in from a corner. He just took it.
Couldn't believe it when he went up and just swung it in.
Beat the first man, everything.
What would you think that was?
Sorry,
Put it right on the centre spot. Lascelles was up, bang.
Aye, did I? You'd have
and then he made a great save at the death. What annoyed us was he's kicking. Now I'm not kicking under pressure either. I mean, literally putting the ball down, looking, and then smashing it to no one. Literally, no. Joe standing on the side of the field.
Aye.
I was like, and you could see Joe going, "What the fucking hell is that?" It was really weird. It was, but I thought his performance. Oh, mind you, though, I tell you the worst part. Do you see when
He's up every time. He winds himself up. Yeah,
No,
he
I
winds
only
himself up.
know what's coming.
Oh, yeah, what else?
He
What
tried
else?
to do a
mate?
short pass to themselves from a goal kick.
Oh, God, yes.
Fuck in hell.
Yes.
I thought this was it. I said, I went, they're going to score you. We've got a goal kick. I don't know if your stream had went down. Or a foul, sorry. I might mean a foul, and we had it was like in one box. He put the ball down, seen the cells obviously.
The cells
2
just
yards away,
outside the box, wasn't
and
he?
passed him it nowhere near. And it went straight there.
But went straight there, aye.
They were on the break.
It
Let's
was like the goal that Miggy scored against
against
in the
Rochdale.
last round.
Yes,
it
very
was
similar to that,
exactly
wasn't
like
it?
that. Same end as
Going
well.
back a few seasons ago, we used to see that quite often between Darlow and Lascelles. Complete fuck-ups. Remember the one down Norwich?
It's crazy because those two have played together for years.
They should have for us together, wouldn't they?
I thought Lascelles was good actually. I thought Lascelles
Yeah,
was
he
really
did.
good actually. I thought it was one of his better games, but not that they offered that much. But I thought he was actually quicker on the ball for a change. Actually, to be honest.
Well,
You see,
him
when he done, like,
and their
three in
centre
midfield,
forward
he done,
were having a canny battle, weren't they? They were niggling each
He
other
was a right
away.
little
Like,
chava, him,
yeah.
that fucking striker. Aye. Oh, so he was a right chava. He was. He
He did.
in his-
He
was
pirouetted
just
around a few of them, didn't he?
Yeah. But it was a shit day at the office. But what I'll say is we're not out of the cup yet, so
Yeah.
we're still in it. At
So
least,
the cup
you know.
draws just
Happened
gone through there.
tonight, yeah.
So
Tough game, like.
West Brom away,
to West Brom away.
really
and that's another midweek game as well.
We've got to climb up
Getting
that
played on
bank. It's got a bank leading in West Brom's ground. I hate it.
Last time I was there was the best day.
It's
of
the
ours,
Wednesday
so.
before we play
Well,
Southampton
not
as well.
Yeah, so,
So
so
that's-
the last.
Ben Arthur, CC,
Yeah.
that's when I was there.
Aye, I was there as
Great
well.
day, that,
Fucking
like,
fantastic.
unbelievable.
Best 20 minutes I think I can remember.
The
like,
best game, the journey down the lot.
Yeah.
We
I stayed in Nottingham the night before and went out in Nottingham the night before as well.
Did you?
Maybe a good night. Nottingham, like,
I just
never-
drove down with I went with a good old
This
one,
canny
that.
Nottingham.
There was a few of us went down. We got a bus, but it had like strip lighting in the ceiling.
Party
And
bus.
Our party bus. It was fucking brilliant. I'll never have another.
Did you like that strip, by the way, the orange
A
one?
lush eye.
Hey, I had best 20 on the back of that.
I had Amiobi 23.
Did you?
Aye.
You should have said I had Petri 20 on the back of mine.
Because I love Leon Best, mate. I love him.
I'd use mid.
But it was a mint game that we just had everything to know. There was a spell of that first half where we looked just fucking invincible. Like that'll not be like that this time. That's for fucking sure.
No.
But anyway,
It's a hard game, that. If they get past Oxford, it's a
yeah,
hard game
actually,
down
right,
there.
if we
Yeah.
get past Oxford.
That second in the championship, they're going really. Maybe
First,
top
on the
actually.
top. I'll check the night.
To be fair, I think like we've seen, away games tend to suit us better because of what you're saying. We can play on the break.
Yeah. Did they beat
get
West
through
Ham
that way.
4-1 or am I making that up?
Ew.
The West Brom. Was
West
it?
Brom.
Or just 1-0, was it? Oh, I don't know why I thought it was 4-1.
I think.
But it was at West Ham,
Oxford,
wasn't it?
Oxford,
put
yeah.
fought us West Ham.
Oxford
Oh, might be, that's
played.
right.
So in the cups they've played Millwall, West Ham, and Man City
Aye.
in the two different cups, and they played well in every single one. To be
And
fair.
you see
they
what
were
you
alright,
see
they were
why
good
for the
side.
performance.
They
They
were a good
played
side,
some
them, like.
decent football.
Well, they're up towards the top league, weren't they?
Fifth, I think.
Fifth.
Aye, fifth. They're a good side. The thing is, they play football, don't they? They play football. They've got two good, strong centre halves as well.
The centre halves were
weren't
good, like
they? They were great.
yeah.
So they're a good side for
I
League
think-
One side.
honestly-
Let's remember, we
Oh,
should still be tearing
Yeah,
and
Joe,
those
Joe,
wee balls.
You'd
fucking
think
hell,
so,
Joe's worth more
But-
than the entire club, man. It's ridiculous.
On another day, in with just a little lift of the head, we could have scored 3 or 4 goals because it was the final ball
Yeah,
that
you're
did
right,
we.
like, you're right. We should have had a handball, to be fair, it was a penalty. And Joe...
What did you think of the foul on Lascelles?
Joe was silly, like, on...
All that dive. Well,
The contact was coming.
Yeah, he
just
expected
take
it.
The contact.
He went over too early,
Yeah,
but then he realised straight away he stood back up.
I know, I was like, why? I knew straight away, you've dove there, just take the contact. You know it's coming. But he didn't, he went down. I was like, fuck, what am I going to get now? But I thought it was handball, like, but it is what it is anyway. Do you know what it is? We should be better than beating a team like that by a penalty. You know what I mean? But it should have been a penalty, but I'm just saying, if I'd won that game 1-0, it's not giving you much confidence, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's like, we should be beating them teams, not just by fucking penalties.
Right, we'll wrap this one up, unless anything else to say on that one?
No, I'd like to see what Bentaleb will be like with someone else alongside him, because I was crying out in that game for Sean to go off and to have him alongside. Even Hayden come in there.
You couldn't have him and Shelby. I'll be honest there, like, I don't think you could, like, very similar in my opinion.
Possibly, but obviously Bentaleb's got more legs to get up and down. Well, energy within.
We say that, but you have to remember, as Bessie said, he hadn't played much football. You know what I mean? I didn't think
he looked tired or like out of the game or anything.
Maybe just because so used to watching Shelby.
I don't know. The second half, people were walking past him, mate. I'm being honest. I thought he was good, but literally people were walking past him, man.
Right, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for Guillermo Clothing. Thanks for GEORDIE Gifts for sponsor podcast, and we'll see you all on the question answer where we're talking about new owners.